Hello and welcome to Banking Frontiers Live. We are in for a great conversation here alongside Cybos in the area of transition to transformation. We have a great guest today, a luminary who has been Chief Digital and Experience Officer in Corporate and Investment Banking at ABSA. He comes with a wealth of information from cash management to digital transformation to technology, and he's going to share with us some wonderful insights on how the banks are looking at transition to transformation. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Richard Southey, who is the Chief Digital and Experience Officer of ABSA. Richard, welcome to Banking Frontiers Live.
Thank you.
So, Richard, every bank is at some level of transition or the other in digital transformation, and I'm sure your bank is as well getting into the next best level possible into the area of digital. How has been your journey, and what is the level of digital transformation that you look into?
Yeah, digital transformation is fundamentally about re-engineering the bank and the way it thinks about its business. It's not just a cool thing to do. It's genuinely about solving problems for clients, about bringing banking services in a far more convenient way to clients, and about making the organization a lot more productive. But that does sound like quite a simple kind of construct or thought about what it's really about. But it's fundamentally a cultural change. It's very much about the people moving into a slightly different way, becoming more data-driven by using technology tools to accelerate the way that we work, thinking about the customer journeys in a totally different way to what we have done previously, and re-engineering the bank. And when it's so fundamental, a digital transformation, if done well, pretty much it impacts all of the bank and all of our customers. So it's quite broad ranging. We don't think of it as a project. It's a transformation,
ongoing
it's a transition,
journey,
and it's an ongoing journey. So it's not a single thing that
wonderful.
we kind of do.
What are those key digital transformation areas that you are looking into in the near future?
Yeah, so we started our digital transformation really looking at the channel environment, looking at how we produce or bring our services to clients and how they interact with us, whether that's through API direct connections, through host banking, through online banking or mobile banking. That context of client and interaction is a common view. At the same time as doing that, we reorganize the way we do work. So starting to federate development as opposed to just having single monolithic types of ways of working. So really changing our environment from quite a waterfall type of environment to quite an agile type of environment, but working with cross-functional squads and reorganizing ourselves to be able to deliver a lot faster and a lot more insightfully into the market. But so ways of work has been a really, really big place. Obviously the channel journey and thinking through design, etc. But the changes which are probably more deep in the organization is really the data journey. Organizing data, starting to use data and helping the organization to make data-led decisions, higher quality decisions, faster decisions on an ongoing basis, really driving the learning culture of the organization, building up the data so that we can start to take advantage of the latest and greatest in AI, in generative AI, etc., to really take the organization to a new level.
Wonderful. Evolution of data ultimately depends upon the quality of data.
Correct.
And garbage in is garbage out, for that matter.
Yeah.
So I'm sure constantly it is a regular activity for you to cleanse the data and take it to the next level.
It is. I mean, I suppose the concepts of data governance and data management are foundational in any digital journey, to be honest, although we may speak of that as a data journey. But being able to trust your data is the real thing. Absolutely. When you start looking at an organization as old and as complex as ours, there's a lot of legacy that is in there. And kind of modernizing that, bringing out the data so that you can trust it, organizing the firm so it's very clear around accountability, around ownership, who is actually going to get that data into a clean state so you can trust it, is very important. So the kind of the operational model around data, the how you organize it, how you govern it, basically sets the foundation so you can trust it. And then you can analyze data and you can start driving models and AI type of things. But if you don't get those foundational pieces right, as you said, it's garbage in and garbage out.
So one important thing you touched about is the legacy. Okay, and whenever you are getting into digital transformation journey, you face a lot of bottlenecks. Okay, one of course is the legacy, to convert it into the next level of digital transformation. What else are the hurdles that generally banks face when they transform into digital transformation?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's so much in this kind of journey, and a lot of it actually starts with how your organization has been set up from a systems perspective. And, big banks evolve over time, and different systems at different times are going to be brought in. But starting to think of it as a journey where you are trying to transform all of that at scale, you've got to start getting things like architectures right. So you're thinking around your data architecture as a start. Where do you place your big pieces? Payments, for instance. In legacy core banking, you would often have payments as a service inside of those. So hollowing out the core so that you can actually identify the service and start running it as more of a platform rather than in a product silo is quite an important part of it. And what our approach has been one of hollowing out the core, taking out services like payments, taking out services like pricing and billing, understanding those kind of concepts and pulling them away. And over time, that makes it simpler to start taking out your legacy systems altogether and going towards more modern technology, which is obviously easier to use, it's faster, it's more reliable, it's got more stability and robustness about it, is an important part of that journey. But it's got to be deliberate. You've got to kind of think through it on an ongoing basis, how you kind of pull that out. And I know different banks have had different approaches. Some have gone for rip and replace concepts. We found that too risky for us to go after it. So we've really gone after the hollowing out of the core, and over time we will, and we have been steadily decommissioning systems over the last kind of 7 or 8 years as we've become a more modern organization.
Interesting. And it is always a people, process and technology transformation. When it comes to people transformation, how are you actually ensuring that there is no experiential difference for your teams which are doing the transformation and also for the customer?
Yeah, I mean, I think the people part of a digital transformation is probably the most complex part. And any cultural journey is slightly slower than something which you can technically go after. It's hugely about learning. And it's about educating along the way. And it's really, really important that you, talking maybe first to the internal environment, that you bring the people with you. So you would far more prefer to be in a position where people are part of the journey than a journey being done to them. So a number of things kind of spring to mind. The educational journey is quite important because as you step through a digital transformation, jobs actually change, and that's quite threatening in an internal environment.
Absolutely.
So preparing people for that journey, highlighting the positive of it, allowing people to start to develop skills which are becoming more useful in the more modern environment as you kind of decommission jobs, if I could put it that way. I'm not
Absolutely.
thinking of people as systems, but you will over time